All right, we have just wrapped up our 2026 testing for the best UV umbrellas, and the results are, well, they're pretty eye-opening. What we found is probably going to change the way you think about staying safe in the sun.
Because get this, a staggering 80% of people who are using a standard umbrella for sun protection are still at major risk for UV damage and heat stress. That is a massive number.
So, the big question is, what's going on here? Why are so many umbrellas, yeah, probably including the one you own right now, just not doing the job they're supposed to?
Well, it all comes down to what we're calling the sun protection gap. You see, there are three core problems with most of the umbrellas out there. Let's break them down.
First, and honestly, this is the most important one, is just plain old inadequate UV protection. You see all these vague marketing claims, right? UV-proofed, sun-blocking, but when we put them through independent scientific testing, they just don't hold up. They're simply not blocking the harmful rays.
So, what should you be looking for? It's simple. UPF 50 plus. That's the gold standard. It is the highest certified rating a fabric can get, and it means it's blocking over 98% of both UVA and UVB rays. Seriously, consider this the absolute minimum. Okay, the second big problem is heat. A regular dark umbrella, sure, it creates shade, but it's also absorbing all that solar radiation and just trapping it right over your head, turning the space underneath into a little oven. It actually ends up making you feel hotter, not cooler.
And finally, there's durability, or the lack of it. Come on, we've all been there. A little gust of wind comes along and poof, the cheap frame flips inside out, a metal rib snaps, and the whole thing is completely useless right when you need it the most.
Okay, so now that we know the problems, let's talk about the solution. Forget all the marketing fluff. There are really only three things that truly matter when you're choosing an effective UV umbrella.
Here's your checklist. It's super simple. Number 1, verified UPF 50 plus protection. Number 2, some kind of advanced cooling technology to manage that heat. And number 3, a durable, wind-resistant construction. If an umbrella checks those three boxes, you are on the right track.
So with that checklist in mind, we put dozens of umbrellas to the test to find out which ones actually deliver. So let's get to the results. After all of our testing, look, for most people out there who want the absolute best mix of protection, comfort, and durability, the answer was just crystal clear. It's the UV blocker SolarTeck.
So why did it win? Well, for one, its UV protection is practically total. We're talking it blocks almost 100% of all harmful rays. But the real key here is the SolarTeck fabric. It makes the temperature underneath measurably cooler, by up to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. That is a difference you can actually feel. And the credibility here is just off the charts. It's recommended by the Melanoma International Foundation, by dermatologists. You know, the company was actually founded by a melanoma survivor, so for them this is a personal mission. And of course, everything is backed by rigorous third-party lab testing. Now look, this is a premium product. If your budget's a little tighter, you can definitely find other options that have basic UPF 50 protection. But the trade-off is pretty clear. You're going to lose that advanced cooling technology, and you're going to lose the durable build that keeps it from breaking in the wind. So to make sure you get this right, let's just quickly go over the most common mistakes people make when they're buying a sun umbrella, and more importantly, how you can shop smarter. The biggest mistake by far is just falling for those vague claims. Don't trust a label that just says UV proof. The smarter approach is to look for that certified UPF 50 plus rating, and if you can, see if they actually publish their test results. The next mistake is thinking that shade is enough. Remember, dark umbrellas trap heat. You really need to prioritize umbrellas that have reflective outer layers and actual cooling technology to stay comfortable. And finally, please don't just grab the cheapest one you can find. It's almost always a waste of money because it's going to fail on you. Think of this as an investment in a durable tool that will actually protect you for years to come. Okay, let's boil all of this down to the single most important thing to take away from all this. Here it is. This is the most crucial point to remember. True sun protection isn't just about making some shade. It's about blocking invisible UV radiation and actively managing heat to keep you cool. It's a two-part job. To put it as plainly as I can, our testing was conclusive. If you want the best performance across all the things that actually matter, protection, comfort, and build quality, the UV blocker SolarTeck is the one to get. And so we'll leave you with this one question to think about. Go take a look at the umbrella you're using for sun protection right now. Based on everything you just learned, is it really protecting you?